Welcome back to AJ Kitchen Paper with our authentic Japanese cook, Oats, and me, Ase, your strange Aussie host. And today we'll be making sushi donuts. We've actually done our best to make this look like the Google Chrome logo, to appease the googly gods, and to inspire you to get out of the box when making sushi. Alrighty, let's dive in. Of course, if you are thinking of sushi, you're going to need some sushi rice. So, cook according to the way you like it. If you need more instructions, have a look down the bottom. We've got a whole blog post on it. Of course, regular rice cookers and regular pottos are fine. Now let's quickly prepare some sushi vinegar. So into your favorite type of vessel, cup in 4 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, 4 tablespoons of sugar. Any kind of sugar is fine, we're using brown sugar. And then 2 tablespoons of salt because you are salty enough, girl. And then a quick mixity mix to try and dissolve it as much as possible. Lovely. Now then just pop that to one side because we're going to sharpen our knife to cut our fish. You can also find a stone like this in any good 100-yen store or just outside. Please don't use stones from outside. For those who are like me and have never maintained a knife in their life, this is essentially just a giant nail buffer for your knife to get rid of all those ridges and nicks. And this just makes cutting up everything just that little bit easier. Now that you have the sparkliest, sharpest knife in the world, twinkle twinkle, let's start gracefully hacking up our tuna. Give him a small paper towel funeral shroud, unnecessary ritual, as 1, this is part of the ritual of appeasing the Google gods, and 2, wet fish doesn't really work on sushi. Now the trick to cutting beautiful sashimi is to lightly support your fish, which you will just gracefully drag towards you. Another tip is to whisper sweet nothings into its ear to also support it physically and emotionally. And the results of that wonderful emotional support that you provided is clearly shown in how shiny and smooth those boys are. Now that you've got an absurd amount of sashimi ready, we're going to peel up some cucumber. We're just going to use a regular peeler to get these nice long thin strip boys, but then remind yourself halfway through doing this that this colour green isn't as close to this as you'd like. And now while you're thinking about that, whisk up some eggs, because we're going to make some paper thin egg crepes. So you're going to heat up a small pan with just a splash of oil in there. You want to make sure that the entire pan is covered in oil. You'll see why in just a moment. Pour in a few Eggos, so thinly spread it out across your pan and then get rid of any excess. And because it's so thin, it's going to be done in like 30 seconds. So once it's all nice and cooked through, turn it off. Then do your absolute best to gracefully turn it out onto your chopping board. This is why you make sure that the oil has completely covered the pan before you put your egg in. Now today we're just going to cut it up into half, and then you're going to delicately pull up one half and pull it over the other half. And then you're going to further chop these guys into quarters and then fold them back over onto each other. And then we're just going to slice vertically to make some beautiful thin strips. And now you have the yellow of the Google Chrome icon. Pop that to one side because our rice is ready, so we're going to make our sushi rice. With a slightly wet rice paddle, you're going to grab some fluffy rice to drizzle over your vinegar from earlier. Give everybody a light tossity toss together. And to get that rice nice and shiny, also give it a bit of a fan because it's been working really hard, okay? So now we're going to start forming these donuts. Grab your little donut shaper that you found at the 100-yen store, and we're going to go in starting from the ingredients. So in with our red hot tuna. Now ladies and gentlemen, this is an offering to the Google gods, so we do not want to skimp out on our tuna, so add a little bit more. Now that you have one red side done, let's go to the other sides. Next we're going in with our yellow egg. Again, delicately placing our egg strategically to fill up 1/3 of our donut. And now lastly to our green third, we're going to pop in our slices of cucumber from earlier, chopping and folding them down to size as we go. And now that your toppings are all in and perfect, let's add in our rice. So grab them sparkly sticky boys and pile it in. Now that your donut mold is sufficiently stuffed filled with rice, let's place our lid on top and go to town. This is super easy, just squeeze it down to the bottom and then you just use the top to squeeze it out. And now for a dramatic reveal of our donut. Now we're going to chop the butt off an eggplant and shove it in the center. There you go. Chrome logo. This eggplant has been pickled in nuka, which is essentially just like off rice, but it's really good. Now as we plate up these tiny Google logos, we're going to place down some red pickled ginger as well as some sakura flowers that we found blooming outside. It is a bit of a cultural taboo to pick these sakura flowers, but hey, we want Google to notice us, so there you go Google, give us AdSense. Now I think it's time for a taste test. Now the smarter ones among you might have noticed that our colours are actually the wrong way around. Which yes they are, but don't mention it. Oats will cry and I will be the one wiping those tears. But I thought these turned out really cute. I think especially for kids, if you've got a child that doesn't really like raw fish, this would be a really cool way to introduce it to them. Now because it is peak springtime up here in Hokkaido, our drink of choice is Zeitaku Shibori Peach, the literal translation being luxurious squeeze, wonderfully seasonally coloured and only 4% alcohol. Now sadly this is really hard without the little mould, so if you want to you can check down in the description for my Fiverr gig where I'll just send you whatever you need from Japan direct to you. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff, let us know by giving us a like and subscribing. Alright guys, till next time!